This is the USS Abraham Lincoln, the embodiment of American sea power in 2024, and the beating heart of Carrier Strike Group 3. From her deck, 4 historic milestones were born, reshaping the way the world will view naval warfare for decades to come. Late on the night of November 9, 2024, golden light spilled from the ready room of Marine Fighter Attack Squadron 314, the Black Knights. Without a wasted word, the pilots rose, donned their helmets, and stepped out into the freezing sea wind. Under the glaring floodlights, the F-35Cs stood motionless like predators, waiting for the signal to hunt. Below deck, maintenance crews checked every pressure valve in the steam catapult system. In the bomb bay, the metallic clatter of heavy munitions echoed as ordnance crews assembled massive bombs ready to send them topside. Then the moment came. The sharp command of the shooter rang out. One push of the button turned the flight deck into a launch ramp, hurling a 70,000-pound F-35C loaded with 20,000 pounds of fuel and 16,000 pounds of weapons from 0 to 170 meters in just 3 seconds. They shot into the darkness, leaving behind faint trails of light and the roar of engines tearing the night apart. But who had been bold or reckless enough to warrant a midnight visit from the US Navy? Since 2023, Houthi forces had turned the southern Red Sea, the Bab el-Mandeb Strait and the Gulf of Aden into a hunting ground, targeting cargo ships and warships with missiles and drones. The escalating threat forced US command to redirect the Lincoln Strike Group from the Indo-Pacific to the Middle East with a cold, unmistakable message: don't touch our ships. That night, the Black Knights streaked toward Yemen with orders to destroy multiple underground weapons depots, holding advanced missiles, the Houthis' sharpest teeth at sea. Thanks to their cutting-edge helmets, each pilot had a full 360-degree view, even through the aircraft's own fuselage, with targeting data projected right in front of their eyes. With a single press of a button, American democracy was delivered, and Yemen shook. For hours, the F-35Cs hammered 2 mountain targets, wiping out stockpiles and destroying a strategic bridge linking them. The blast was so powerful that local media claimed the top of one mountain had nearly disappeared. No casualty figures were released, but every Black Knights pilot returned safely, a historic moment marking the first time the US Navy and Marine Corps' F-35C variant had ever seen combat. But they weren't alone. As the Black Knights launched, another force quietly began its own mission, and had they failed, the entire operation could have ended in disaster. This was Electronic Attack Squadron 133, the Wizards flying EA-18G Growlers aircraft that look like the Navy's FA-18 but serve a completely different role. Slung under their wings and fuselage were 3 cylindrical jamming pods, weapons capable of breaking the most critical link in an enemy's defense radar. Why were they needed? Because the Houthis' air defenses were a deadly mix, ranging from aging Soviet-era systems to Iran's modern technology, covering short, medium, and long ranges. Sending F-35Cs into hostile territory without electronic escort would be like walking down a dark alley with a bag of cash. Survival would be a matter of luck. That night, the Growlers took off to ensure those $100 million stealth fighters wouldn't become drifting targets in the skies over Yemen. The first to open fire on the enemy's air defense system, that was the moment this new weapon entered history. For decades, the US Navy had relied on the AN/ALQ-99 tactical jamming system, first introduced in the 1970s on the EA-6B Prowler, now retired. The ALQ-99 was once the ace in the hole of electronic warfare, but times have changed. On the modern battlefield, it began to show its flaws, interfering with Allied radars' limited power output and an inability to cover the full range of new frequencies. As more advanced air defense systems emerged, the ALQ-99 became a blunt knife in the middle of the fight. The US Navy knew they needed an entirely new weapon, and that's why the AN/ALQ-249 Next Generation Jammer NGJ was born. NGJ addresses every weakness of its predecessor with vastly superior capabilities, far greater power output, the ability to jam from much longer ranges, and most notably, the capacity to divide tasks across specialized frequency bands. This wasn't just an upgrade, it was a revolution. Contrary to popular belief, air defense radars don't all operate on the same frequency. Those designed for long-range detection transmit at lower frequencies, while fire control radars operate at much higher ones. The most dangerous threats the US Navy faces typically operate in the mid-band range of 2 to 6 GHz, where ground-based fire control radars, fighter aircraft warning radars, and missile guidance radars are concentrated. That's why the Navy prioritized developing the mid-band variant for immediate deployment on the EA-18G Growler. The long-term plan is that once all three variants are complete, a mid-band pod will hang under the right wing, a high-band pod under the left, and a low-band pod on the center line. But on that historic night, the Wizard Squadron carried a mid-band pod under each wing and an older ALQ-99 pod on the center line to serve as a temporary low band. Even without the full lineup, the NGJ proved its formidable capability. The exact details remain classified, but the Navy confirmed the pilots activated the NGJ in real combat. Whether they merely prevented enemy radars from detecting the formation blocked fire control locks, or even assisted in destroying the air defense network, one thing was certain: NGJ exceeded expectations, and this was its first real-world combat deployment. However, the night story wasn't just about NGJ and the F-35C. There was another historic first, and without it, the entire mission might have been cancelled. On a standard deployment, a carrier strike group CSG, with 3 to 4 escort ships, burns roughly 100,000 gallons of fuel per day, while the air wing consumes up to 2 million gallons of jet fuel per week. Due to this enormous demand, every CSG operates with a dedicated fleet oiler. For the Abraham Lincoln Strike Group, that was the USNS Bighorn. Everything was routine until September 2024, when disaster struck off the coast of Oman. Just after completing a refueling operation for an escort ship, the crew of the Bighorn felt a violent jolt. Were we attacked, collided, sinking? The questions raced through their minds. A rapid inspection revealed the ship had lost steering control on one side. The cause possibly a navigation error or striking an uncharted rock. The crew saved the ship from sinking, but the Bighorn had to be towed to the port of Duq Oman for major repairs. The problem? This was the group's only fuel supply source. At that time, there wasn't a single other military oiler in the entire region. With the mission requiring 24/7 patrols in one of the most dangerous waters on Earth, it was like cutting off the fleet's lifeline. With no other choice, the US Navy had to do something it hadn't done in decades: use the aircraft carrier itself to refuel another ship. This is one of the most dangerous maneuvers at sea. Two massive vessels must maintain a gap of just 160-200 feet. Too close, and they risk being sucked together in a collision. Too far, and the refueling line can snap, sending a high-tension cable whipping across the deck with lethal force. This time, they also had to work with civilian mariners, people who had never done this before. The only viable solution was to bring in the oil tanker Overseas Mykonos to supply both diesel and jet fuel to the Abraham Lincoln. After months of urgent training and preparation, the operation began in early November 2024. At dawn, the Lincoln's crew took their stations. Sailors in red vests readied their specially modified M14 rifles to fire a messenger line across the 180-foot gap to the Mykonos. One shot, the line sailed across and locked in. Minutes later, fuel was flowing into Lincoln's tanks. It wasn't as dramatic as the thunder of bombs over Yemen, but without this fuel, the Lincoln's aircraft and escorts would have been grounded. This event not only showcased the US Navy's technological edge with the next-generation jammer, but also proved its extraordinary adaptability under a logistics crisis in perilous waters. From neutralizing enemy radar to executing an unprecedented refueling operation, every action played a part in maintaining dominance at sea and safeguarding critical shipping lanes. And if you want to keep uncovering untold stories, exploring cutting-edge military technology, and learning about the secret missions that shape global security, subscribe now and turn on notifications. The next truth waiting to be revealed might surprise you.